I've earned over $100,000 this year on the interwebs, and I don't really sell anything more expensive than $97. So I am back on the YouTubes. It's been about a month. I keep saying I'm going to get back to it, and I had a customer, Keith, thank you. He emailed me yesterday about something, and he said, I really miss your YouTube videos, or I miss your daily videos, something like that. So I'm going to get back to YouTube. I'm not going to be doing it daily, but I'm aiming for twice a week. Anyway, so I've earned over $100,000 this year, and I don't sell anything over $97. I'm not proud of that. When I say I've left over $100,000 on the table this year, that is not an understatement whatsoever. I looked at I've used a couple of platforms this year. I have 1,900 orders in WordPress. I have 150 orders in Stan. I have about 100 in Go High Level, and I have about 75 in Samcart. So I probably have about 2,200 customers this year. Now, some people did buy. About 15% of my customers buy again, so I would guesstimate probably about 2,000 customers. And I don't sell anything more expensive than $97, and it's foolish. It is absolutely foolish that I don't sell stuff more expensive, because studies show that it's 5 to 12 times easier to sell to a current customer than it is to sell to a new prospect. And like I said, about 15% of my customers each and every month, 16% of my customers are repeat customers. So they buy a second time, a third time, a fourth time. And for me to not have a higher ticket offer it's silly. Now, I've had higher ticket, I think I've taken on 8 clients this year, one-on-one clients. I opened up a coaching program in January. I sold 5 spots, or 6. I sold 1 in February, and I sold 1 in June. I think that's what it is, 7 or 8, something like that. And those range anywhere from like $1,200 to $1,500. So not a ton from high ticket, and I don't focus on that. I don't really sell that. I launched it in January, and then I didn't really do it again. And then I had a lady reach out, and she's like, hey, she wanted coaching, and I said, yeah, she bought into the coaching. But I'm just leaving a lot of money on the table, and I have some money mindset issues, honestly, with higher ticket stuff. I put a lot of pressure on myself and a lot of responsibility with high ticket. I want everyone to be a success. If I'm going to be charging $1,500 plus, I want everyone to be a success. That's obviously, it's not going to happen. I don't think Tony Robbins has a perfect, all of his students aren't a success story. But I will, so I really struggle with that. So I shy away from high ticket. It's a cop-out. It's a cop-out. It's the easy way out. And for the last couple of months, I'm like, man, I gotta face my fears, and I gotta do something about it. But I can't do it alone. I can't do it alone, because I know I won't follow through with it. So I've been looking at a couple of mentors and coaches, looking at a couple of different programs, and I was gonna work with this guy that I like, and then another lady that I followed since 2022. I'm on her email list, and she doesn't email that often, and she emailed last weekend, the weekend before last, about a mastermind she was opening up. She works with women. All of her content is around women and talks to women, but her messaging really resonates. I don't know if it really resonates. She's very good at messaging. I called her the messaging queen. And the more I play this game, the more I realize messaging is the #1 skill when building a personal brand. It's more important than offers. It's more important than everything else, is messaging. And I get compliments on my messaging, but I want to be better. So I reached out to her last Thursday. I jumped on her email list in 2022. I became a customer of hers in 2023. I checked my stats, or I checked my email. And I reached out to her last Thursday, and I was like, hey, she's not like this big, she's got 9,000 followers on Instagram. She's not like this big famous coach or anything, but she's earned millions. She's kind of like a little quiet empire she's building. And so I reached out to her last Thursday. I said, hey, I know you work with women. Do you ever work, I'm looking at your mastermind. Do you ever work with men? And she's like, yeah, I have in the past. And so I was like, okay, cool. And she's like, I know who you are. I've seen your stuff, which that was good for the pride and ego. I'm not going to bullshit. And so she sent me over the application. I filled it out last Friday. Now, I didn't hit submit on the application till Sunday night because I was nervous. It's over $10,000. It's a lot of fucking money. It's a whole. I work with her for a whole year. You know, I'm doing the monthly plan, so I'm not whipping out $5,000 or 5 figures. You know, but it's a big investment. You know, but it's a 12-month commitment. You know, and so I thought about it over the weekend. I talked to a couple of friends of mine, a couple fellow entrepreneurs. You know, and my one friend Audrey's like, fucking absolutely, go, yeah, absolutely. You know, I was like, you know what, you're right. You know, and I've been running this workshop. It's called Threads OS. It's 3 live workshops, and I launched it. It's about offers, messaging, and email. And the email thing is tomorrow. We've done the 2 workshops, and I charged $27 for it. And a guy bought it, and he watched the first workshop. Now this guy's earned millions online. He watched the first workshop, and he left me a testimonial yesterday in the Facebook group, in the customer Facebook group. He was like, dude, what you are sharing in that $27 workshop, you should be charging $3,000 to $5,000 for that. He's like, I don't think these people know like what you're sharing, like the value and the depth of the knowledge. And I struggle with pricing, you know. And again, all weekend I'm hemming and hawing, not hemming and hawing, but I'm thinking about this mastermind. Do I do it? It's a lot of money. It's a big commitment. You know, I'm leaning towards yes. My friend says yes. I read that testimonial. I think it was Monday morning, and it was like a sign from God. I read that, and he's like, you should be charging $3,000 to $5,000. Now, one of the big reasons I want to join this lady's mastermind is to launch a high ticket offer. Price it properly and position it properly, because she does both of those things extremely well, and I want to learn how to do that because I'm not good at that. And so like I read that testimonial. It was a long testimonial too. Really, like, it was awesome. And it was like a sign from God. I'm like, he's telling me that this $27 workshop is worth $3,000 to $5,000, and this guy's earned millions online. So his comment means, you know, it holds a bit more weight, you know. And it was like, yes, you know. So I submitted the application. You know, she got back to me. She's like, I read over everything. Here's the order form. If you have any questions, you know, reach out anytime. And I said, nope, I don't have any questions. I'm ready to go, you know. And so I joined her mastermind. So my content likely will change moving forward. My offers will likely change moving forward. She is really good at high ticket and stacking monthly recurring revenue, which are 2 things I want to learn how to do, and 2 things that I'm not good at. And so I'm going into this mastermind with, I know nothing. She is the expert. I'm going to listen to her. I'm going to do as she says, as long as it's within like my morals and, you know, values and stuff like that. I don't think she's going to have me do anything illegal or shady, you know. But I'm walking in there like I know nothing about these 2, you know, high ticket and MRR, which is monthly recurring revenue. She has the results I desire. I'm going to fucking listen to her. She's the fucking expert. I am not. So I'm going to leave my pride and my ego at the door, or I'm going to try to leave my pride and ego at the door. But the point being is, I have weaknesses in my business. I'm self-aware enough to realize that. I'm not like hurt or embarrassed or ashamed to admit it. Shit, I'm making a YouTube video about it. Like, it doesn't bother me. Now, the Adam of 2020, or maybe 2018, I probably wouldn't admit this, you know. Not to anybody, you know, that I have weaknesses. I had it all figured out, or I thought I did. You know, but over the years, I've gotten much better with self-awareness thanks to Gary Vaynerchuk. You know, he's really, like, shined a spotlight on the importance of it. And not just in business, but my personal life as well. Like, I have a lot of weaknesses in business and just life in general. A lot of areas that I need to work on. I'm good at like a couple things. I suck at most everything else. And like that doesn't bother me, you know? So I'm hiring her to help me. And I had a realization like last week. I was listening to another lady on Instagram, and she had said she spends $7,000 a month on mentors and coaches. And I got to thinking, and I was like, fuck, dude, I haven't spent a penny this year on mentors and coaches. I've basically done it alone, you know. Now I have 2 friends, Conrad and Audrey, that I talk to on a daily basis, and they're kind of like my mentors and coaches. They're fellow entrepreneurs, good friends of mine that I talk to on a daily basis, and they help me out and talk me through struggles and that. So I kind of look at them as kind of mentors, basically, and they are. I don't pay them money though, and there's a difference in that. When you're paying someone a significant amount of money, you're gonna fucking listen to them, or you should listen to them. So that's the update. I just joined the Mastermind yesterday, like I said. I'm gonna get back to doing 2 YouTubes a day. I'm sorry, 2 YouTubes a week. This same style, me with a backwards hat, 20-pound fast, walking around my neighborhood here in Las Vegas. I don't know if I'll be talking about selling PDFs as much anymore. I got a thing called the 3-Hour Creator that I'm kind of building up, and it's like my complete system. You know, I have a system for content, for offers, for all kinds of things, you know, and I wrote a book about it in July. I haven't published it yet. I think I will be publishing it soon, depending on what my mentor says. Because again, I'm listening to her. I'm defaulting to her. You know, if it fits in with things, then I'll launch the book here shortly. But anyways, that's the update. I am fucking back. I'm ready to go. I missed you guys and gals. I appreciate the messages. I've gotten DMs, emails, and comments here on the YouTubes. Hey, where have you been, you know, and stuff like that. Especially, I've gotten probably 4 or 5 emails from people, and that is super, super cool. In a busy world like this, and people notice when I haven't published videos, you know, when there's been a little bit of a gap. That's a super cool feeling. You know, because I know how it can be. You know, somebody stops creating content, and most times you're gonna forget about them. You know, so thank you to the people reaching out. I appreciate it. But anyways, if you like this style of content, hit that subscribe button. And if you have comments, questions, concerns about, let's say, just earning digital dollars, I usually say PDFs, but I'm not going to say that anymore, I don't think. Leave a comment down below. I will do my absolute best to answer them. Thank you.